as good as their bite. I'm talking about Scrondog and the Lowhound. Take it away, boys.
Thank you so much, Dark.
I'm Indian, so I know I'm spicy.
Yes, sir. And yeah, we do bite, but hey, not as hard as some of these guys, bro. We've got firepower in the server, or at least for Spirit's sake, you better hope so. If I were to ask you which of these players would be the lowest rated on Team Spirit thus far in the play-in,
it would obviously be Patsy.
You'd think, right? Nobody says. But it is the sad reality. We have to see somebody step up between Patsy and between Wonderful. The winning formula for Team Spirit has simply not been found yet here in Katowice. And now, it's do or die. Zyphon will open up. We get magixx and Wonderful into the kill feed with headshots apiece, and the rest of the pack of Sprout just going to have to meander in a little later. If there's been one shining player out of Team Spirit, of course that's magixx, and then Chopper. And while they try to hold off this B hit, we get a little glimpse of what Wonderful can offer. Clean USP kills to give Team Spirit this pistol.
There it is. There's the guy that we've been looking for. And yeah, what sets this clear exactly who's better, and if it was the case that Spirit had Wonderful and Patsy playing well, they would be the favorites. I think that's just the facts. But with that being up in the air, and the fact that Barry says they got all the 3 maps that they wanted, well, that makes you think there's a chance for Sprout. But I think we really just have to watch and let the CS speak for itself in the series to figure out exactly what kind of game we're getting. But here are some clues. Wonderful with a great round to kick this off. And, you know, it might be a matter of him. He could have walked into the last match and felt good and then just not played well. Well, here, if he had the same question, I think having a round like that will answer it for you.
Certainly going to be a good foot forward for Team Spirit. You know, I think it's great to see that Chopper's individual level looked competitive in the opening maps. Excellent that we get this consistency out of magixx, one of the most improved players on LAN throughout 2022. Statistically. So we just got to get Patsy and Wonderful activated. If that happens, I think Sprout could just get wiped out of the server. If it truly kicks up into that level that we saw throughout 2022, the type of individuals that got Spirit into playoffs at Antwerp, in Rio, big events. The kinds of events that, while Sprout may have attended, they weren't even close to getting to those kinds of accomplishments. Of course, we've already seen quite the upset just moments ago on this very same stream. IHC drops Furia. Why can't Sprout do the same?
Patsy
gets one headshot off the Famas. Now he's got Chopper and Wonderful here to pick up slack. It's just the USP from Chopper, and apparently all he needs.
Good thing they have Star Carry Chopper to make up for Patsy.
Oh, man.
And, you know, like I was saying, Patsy was probably, you know, had boiling blood after his initial performance. And, like, Wonderful, we see, looking good right now. Patsy, that spray, we saw similar sprays the other day. Doesn't inspire confidence. He's probably not feeling good about that. Hopefully he shakes it off. We saw great consistency out of Patsy. People arguing for his placement in the top 20 last year. But, you know, whatever Maui touches turns to dust.
So, I believe he calls himself the unluckiest analyst in the world. And unfortunately for Chopper, gets gunned down. magixx taking damage through the smoke. Flashbang's perfect. Refresh taps with the MAC-10, but then Patsy catches one up from heaven, and we've got the recovery coming out of the star players of Team Spirit. And poor Zello, who I think if we're going to talk about people maybe underperforming in comparison to expectations, he just hasn't really found his footing yet here with the AWP, right? People wanted to see the type of dominance that he was offering in Romanian competition as soon as he got to the international stage. However, hasn't been the case.
Yeah, we've kind of just seen how fast he is, you know, how calm he is, that sort of thing. But when they played against EG, it was everyone else who I think were the stars of the show. And they bought him time because they really did play well as a team in that match. But yeah, we're learning quickly, I think, that Spirit are here to show a different day. Despite having questions about Patsy, having a more Wonderful play well is a good start.
Singular AK this round already finds an opening, so that's good. And you kill Patsy, who is statistically the best performing player for Team Spirit on Overpass specifically.
And he should keep playing the way he... well, maybe that's not true. You know, when I always think about that podcast Elise did with DDK where he talked about having a B game and a C game for days that you're not feeling good. So maybe that is where he needs to go. But at the same time, by nature, as an entry fragger, I mean, are you suddenly going to slow down?
You're just going to give up?
Maybe speed up.
You know the old snappy proverb.
Exactly.
Getting that second rifle back, though, could cause problems here. Yeah, Refresh should play it. He's the one with Kevlar. Him, Stare, and Lau. Starting to work close to the A site. They've got those little bits of utility. So honestly, Sprout utilizing the few things they had well enough. Zello just goes straight through that Molotov. Just doesn't give a damn. And poor Chopper, caught off by that one, has given another gun over.
He may have actually just won the round doing that. That's crazy. And that Molly was being watched for a good amount of time. Zello decided to run through the full spread.
That's kind of crazy. But I mean, hell, it works. At least enough to get bomb plant, and it does seem like Spirit are still sizing up this A-site retake. They are working with kits. They're trying to flash their way out beyond the dumpster. Wonderful and Siren, kill of a piece, Refresh. It's the one and done. Now you've got a smoke to still try and cover that defuse, but Stare's not gonna give you space. Double headshot inside sight, and we've got Refresh and Co. on the board 4 rounds in.
We'll say it again. If Zello stands behind that Molly, then it's going to be a very easy round for Spirit. They have good spots, enough numbers, and good guns to stop that from coming in. And Zello allows for a post plant. He allows for time off the post plant, and also just gets a kill and an upgraded gun. So even we see that him dying allows Refresh to get an opening frag in that spot, and then Stare ends it easily from his position here on the flower pots. Well done. The only thing really worrying about that round was the initial push from Patsy, just him dying again. And yeah, he's in the spotlight. But he knows it at this point. I don't think that's the reason he's not playing well. Could be other reasons. But an opening death is an opening death. It's a very important stat to keep low in this game. The buy will come together. And it's looking terrible. But they got the op on Patsy. Or on Wonderful. They're so good, I get them mixed up.
He's gonna reposition it. Throwing it down over on long instead. Careful now, Siren. A lot of hype behind Wonderful. And honestly, big shoes to fill coming in, replacing Degster.
Yeah. At a certain point, you think, all right, they'll run out of good oppers from that region, but no. Wonderful showed us that's not the case. But I think also his passive playstyle in the last couple of series, I think that's the reason that he wasn't playing well. So not so much missing shots. I feel like just not having impact.
magixx returns the favor. We're going to get a quick pop onto the A site, though. 4 bodies ready to go. Sprout know what they want. What's in position to stop it? Not the op. It's leaning back on bank, and it's going to have a smoke in front of it. So pistol player from truck. Is it enough from Patsy? Good damage. Nice double out of the deagle. And there's more where that came from. More CTs, that is. magixx, it's great cover, and it's a 3-piece from Patsy. A star performance, and the first one we've seen so far in Katowice. A round he can be proud of.
Yes, that was a good one. Just was a total wall right there with that deagle. Aiming nice and low for the stomach. Going for the max damage body shots, and well, that's all they needed. About time for this rotation coming through the smoke. He dies right away. That's not possible. Closes the round out. Always got a goofy smile on his face.
Patsy?
Yeah.
Always having fun.
Yeah.
which I think we can all learn from.
Yeah, you're too serious.
You know me. Sprout and Barry specifically saying that based on this veto, they got all 3 maps they wanted. I would understand why. Team Spirit's biggest loss on Overpass by Spirit. Or excuse me, Sprout. There's history here. There's also some tools to work with. It's not all players on rifles. Lau doubles back. Cue up the op fights. Zello posted on the angle.
Yeah, walks right into that. Free fight. Low util. Patsy up to the plate. Hard angle here towards long. No op to support behind him. Has to make a decision for himself. You know, if he can take the opportunity to flank in this spot, he will. He's the closest player to do so. They're actually approaching with 2 rifles on long. This might be an interesting mid-round, but it might be slow. It's such a far away from the objective here of Sprout to go B, but they're making good time. They turn that corner, they see no one's there, and now this info for the B player is also very helpful.
See their incendiary go down just preemptively. No util over the
All
top
right.
just yet.
Now it's confirmed.
Chopper getting closer. Zyphon on the exit. Yeah, sign to Sprout that this may be red. 25 seconds to try and push their way through this defense. Siren hoping to hold on from barrels. And we've got 4 players just looking to parade their way out inside of the middle of that smoke. Siren sits. Oh, and then as it fades, he lines up 2 kills. We get the Zello op shot back. We're evened out with Refresh on the lesser weapons, and he's gonna need kills. A clean Tech-9 headshot. He doesn't go for plant. He's gotta run him down. 1 second left. Oh, Patsy, time to deliver again.
Wow, the clutch because he crouched.
Wow.
Jesus.
Bullet goes right over the top. Refresh, he had his chance. He got his damage in.
Patsy didn't need to attack at all, so he gave him a chance to win that round. Now, even though the info was so in the favor of Spirit in that situation, it was still possible for Sprout because there was just no utility left over for Spirit. You know, if you have full nades there, you're mollying, you're remollying, you're smoking Monster, and you're just totally denying that exec. You would almost force a save if you had enough utility in that spot, but it was an expensive round that they came out of, and they ran out of utility well before this attack came in. So coming through that info play from Patsy and his teammate at long as fast as they did was the reason that they even were able to bring this down to a 1v0. So, well done, but they created their own luck. Sprout now with pistols, and a chance for Spirit to actually stabilize, because they have to go in with full rebuys again. Sprout may think they have an opportunity. They buy what they can.
Chopper feels comfortable enough to just lean out. Ooh, wonderful right behind him. Shuts down the first one. See a refresh. Tempted again in the next round. I think this is already an excellent sign of what everybody cheering for Spirit wanted. Wonderful 8-2. Patsy 7-2. magixx, who was there before the other 2. Top performer so far in the play-in. Yet again, delivering the impact. It's going to keep Sprout at bay. It's very scary, obviously, to see Spirit's star players come in so rusty, but it is also the start of their season.
That's true.
They're not one of the partner teams at Blast who got a chance to warm up. We saw weird results to start that event as well. Happened here. IHC just bested Furia.
What a match that was.
Sprout trying to harness the power of the Mongols. Gotta make them your spirit animal to try and topple Spirit. Wonderful. Looking for more than just the opening kill, and he will connect. Patsy flashed and stuck beside the truck, recovers vision, recovers everything.
Yeah.
In fact, there's no recovery because they lost zilch.
That flash was wonderful. It actually blinded 3 players on the site. It gave him time to scale. They nearly got to position to dismantle the crossfire, but again, the guns being good. And also, I mean, Sprout would have taken a couple kills here, so even the fact that they don't means a lot to Spirit. It's 6-1 scoreline now, but it's 6-1 when now Spirit have full grenades on top of their op and some money left over.
Something faster here out of Sprout. Siren gonna hear this coming at him fast. Lau hoping to get more than just that first. It's a clean entry, but Chopper from beyond the grave burns Xiphon. And we've got a 2v2 regardless, so nice utilization of the MAC-10s here from Sprout. Each of those entry players getting themselves a kill to start to move this forward, and then it gives them a nice safe bomb plant before the other CTs can try to piece this one together. But again, we're talking about Patsy and Wonderful, those who hit hard for Spirit. Destined to carry. And Patsy connects to Stairs head. We're going to have to see Zello come in big with the 1v2. Smoked off, not comfortable. There's an additional smoke that Patsy can use. There's flashes as well. Both players on kits. They've got what they need. But can they get Zello off of this? Can he manage to line one up? Yes, but does he shoot? No! He thinks he got the diffuser, but a great body block out of Patsy lets Wonderful rob it away.
Oh my god, he actually was just on him the whole time after with ammo remaining, but didn't want to shoot too soon in case the guy who was defusing, maybe he thought he got diffuser, maybe he thought the diffuser got off just to shoot back for that moment, and he didn't want to waste bullets before that tap came in. That might have been even worse. But poor him, if only he knew.
Man, a couple rounds now, we're watching Spirit rack up round wins, but we're also looking at Sprout with openings. That 1 versus 1 where Refresh has his enemy just duck under the bullet. This one, Spirit not going to let off the gas pedal, moving Patsy outwards. He's going to catch Stair pinned against the wall, and just like that, he's gone 5v4 at a minute 40.
He's playing his game, as they say, changing the story very quickly.
Better late than never.
We know Spirit like a fast play. They came in hot that last round, but because they didn't win it. I feel less confident about doing things as quickly again. When they ran over EG with all those fast rounds, I think the main reason they kept doing it is because it just kept working. Like, they lost 1 or 2 rounds in that second half in total.
One of them's pistol. Xiphon gets beyond the half bathrooms. Patsy, smoke out.
Op is over on the B site.
They do have a deep player on long, however. But if Patsy extends too far out, you could expect Zello to snip him off with the op.
Yeah, this is kind of a flawed attack from Sprout, but they need a kill. Yeah.
Refresh crawls out from beneath that smoke, and Patsy's on high alert. Continuing to try to face here. All that Sprout have left is going to try to push into this A site. 20 seconds, double man disadvantage. Can't even manage that first entry, and suddenly this one feels like it's slipping because it is. The op could try to take a chance, but you've got 7 seconds. At this point, tuck tail, run, and hope you don't even die after time, because they're coming for you. Zello better survive, and he's got a chance in connector. Woo! Killer shot, critical and important, but regardless, Spirit's 8th.
Yes, and Spirit at the 8th. I don't really love the call from Sprout coming up bathrooms without testing long control. Sometimes you can do it, but I think just looking at what we've seen already in this game, there hasn't been a round really where Spirit have thought that they shouldn't play long. They've pushed up consistently. They've played a rifler here. They've doubled up. So I don't know. They didn't even get to the point where the crossfire comes in from their long player. Like, that's how bad it was. But Sprout actually still have money. These guys have been spending well.
Keeping the cash flow healthy. Sprout leak through smokes into short. Of course, at a moment's notice, feels like any of their stars could find that one round, that pop-off moment.
But unfortunately, Spirit have the match in that regard, too. That's why we'd say the individual is there for Spirit. Well, then they're just the favored teams. Patsy's making an interesting move. Oh, well. Refresh doesn't think so. That's a good kill from him. And again, keeping tabs on long was what was missing last round. They were also down 4v5, so it makes sense. And now with time on the clock as well, very smart from Refresh to do that. Huge player down. Low on grenades already, our Spirit. This fake might be effective.
Lau sizing up the site as grenades continue to pop. Given a lot of space here. This could very well catch him off guard. Siren. Yeah. Or... Oh, okay. It's a labored effort, but they get there. Heaven player could stop at will. But now these A players with utility in front of them, they're just going to play. And with that bomb stopped down at the feet of Chopper, Wonderful comes through smoke, can at least confirm that one's out long, and Chopper almost holds on. Here comes magixx, fast, off of the bank play, 10 seconds to the clock. magixx doesn't run, doesn't hide, chooses the fight, and Violence looks good on Spirit. 9-1 off of that. A frantic moment, but he didn't waste a second from getting to B to A.
Yeah, this is not a good round from Sprout. That was a really great round from magixx. Some great trades coming through from Spirit. We'll give him credit there, but honestly, man, they had a lot going for them when Refresh got its kill on Patsy. They had the ability to threaten A. This push from Zyphon doesn't really make much sense, excuse me. The spot that was played was very natural, you know, in Optimus. Now the bomb's irretrievable. So much came down to that one kill, and they still had 24 seconds after Stair made his lurk happen. So I feel like they just rushed it. They rushed it a little bit. Somehow, they've been playing some cost-effective CS, though. They somehow put together another buy. Sadly, been the best part about the half so far for them.
The wall they pry, but no contact. Patsy. Oh, just like last round, the opening death versus Spirit. Previously long, this time bathrooms. They're going to move this one ever closer to the A site. Jump spot's going to be heard. Lau, what can you do with that info?
The tough part is, it's weird because Lau gets info, but because they don't see anything, they're more worried about A, which is actually correct.
Moving up. Smoke's over the top. Lau's going to be just completely removed from this play. Wonderful. What a risk. Wow. Sitting on the truck, completely exposed to Stair as he comes around that corner. I don't know about that setup.
That was insane. He could have played behind the truck and just taken his regular angle once that molly came down.
Sprout have seen magixx inside of the bank. The two Ts that are still stuck on Optimus. And while Lau gets out from short, it's counter-terrorists inching their way closer towards him. That's going to confirm and guarantee an exit. That's a crazy position to play.
Insane. I think that, you know, he thinks the fight's coming sooner. If he doesn't, of course, he goes back to his favorite spot or like the most optimized angle. But even with that fight coming sooner, he has very little chance of actually winning it. He has very little chance of getting a kill and leaving. So, well, it doesn't work out. Two best players of Spirit go down, and Sprout overrun the site. They also became very low on grenades very quickly. It didn't have that extremely important in-meta smoke that lands in front of bathrooms. Give the Optimus position even more power. It could have been the case that Wonderful was ready to call him out for faking or something like that and get into a spot to hard clear them or punish them for being too stringy, but clearly Sprout were ready to hit A hard. Patsy already done his water. Did you get two?
Better.
Yeah.
Say, dot request.
Yeah, you can ask for snacks.
Pretty clutch.
Yeah.
Imagine y'all sitting at home at your desks. Just dot request and your mom gets the ping. You're set.
You don't have to do that anymore.
Nope.
You don't have to come out of your basements.
Give me a hat packet.
Same strat.
See it. Lau's fast. They fall back, but There's still a MAC-10 already through. However, we've got Siren on this side of the smoke, not over towards barrels. MAC-10 goes hunting, and this one just gets swept away. The aggression has worked before, could still pay off. We get a little recovery out of Zyphon. A trick up his sleeve, but Patsy's inside of the smoke, and Chopper already presses up onto the lane. So, sure enough, 3 up for Spirit, 10th on the board. And while the MAC-10s worked wonderfully previously, this time, it's a stark reality.
Maybe they're hoping that Spirit forgot how they won their round last time in this similar situation, but it's obviously a set play, and we've seen a number of T-side set plays that are quick out of Sprout, but, well, they just had the perfect setup. They dodge flashes at all the right times. They're nice clip-offs, right, from Chopper on the second player coming in, but fresh smokes, lots of time to telegraph that, and an even better result this time around.
Patsy back to the front-facing A setup, and he's not alone. We've got a long walk up on wall. Chopper moving it forward, revving the engine. Patsy's going to hear him playing around, and wanted to capitalize, but couldn't. Wonderful. Creeping away through smoke. Chopper, ooh, a lineup that could have been. He goes down just like Patsy, empty-handed. Wonderful, here to pick up slack, but he peeks into Zello. Second time we've seen Zello come out on top of that duel, and despite the best efforts of Chopper over towards Long, that damage all for naught. Seems like a comfortable third out of Sprout.
Looks like he's going to forego the lurk this time. They've just got such an advantage towards A site. Just looking to not bungle this, basically. Certainly would be too much to ask for Spirit. Oh, actually... Oh my god, that's a beautiful spray. Nice. Eyes closed here for magixx.
It doesn't need to see.
But they draw the rotation, that's what they were looking for.
And they've got Stare now pressing into Prime. So that right there with the smoke should guarantee that Sprout will find a third on this T side.
And you can see that Wonderful is rough around the edges, right? I mean, he takes the same risk into a position where outside bathrooms is smoked. He walks right into Zello in the same way he did previously. No one to draw attention. It sort of feels like the attitude that, well, it's 3v5, I've just got to do something that would normally be really stupid that I wouldn't do in a 5v5, but now I have the keys. But there might be a better play that isn't that still. Something just that doesn't rely on the other team being bad. I think that's the key thing. Whereas Sprout, they were calm right there, and they stayed and held all their spots, and they had enough people to do it. Patsy as well, he's died a number of times on these pushes. He's still got a lot of kills, but they're more concentrated on a few rounds. So his deaths are meaningful. And, you know, we see 5 players, but we also, for Chopper, we know we did 50, 60 damage to 2 people. And the first player, Patsy, also got a few tags off as well. So when you look at it like that, you know, you're not actually trying to set up Wonderful. Wonderful should be going for a trade or denying your rifler from dying longer. Setting up Siren, actually, in that situation might be more efficient. But playing back with him maybe gives you a chance to win. Of course, CS is not all that cut and dry. You have to be careful about what they call confirmed.
Yeah. Sometimes it's wet and sloppy.
I'm into it.
Especially down on that B site, man. Murky waters. Sludge. And a CT setup we've yet to see. Not just us, Sprout as well. 2 players top bathrooms, catches him off guard. Perfectly timed. Oh, that's a Zello flash. Yikes. Wow.
Well, Spirit loved it.
Blind as a bat. He's going to have to rely on Zello and Zyphon to try their damnedest in cracking open this B site. We've got multiple fights on multiple fronts, and they all come up to Spirit's favor. Sprout have been fighting tooth and nail for some of these rounds. And they have found a little timing here. You know, CT's still going to be wary of this walk-up, so they're keeping eyes on it. But at least they didn't get caught by that boost, per se. magixx, nice trade frag. Zello's AWP, 30 seconds to this clock. We've seen a very consistent buy trend out of Sprout. And while money is low, he's going to take his chance. Waning moments of the first 15, and it's nothing but another Spirit win.
There are definitely some mistakes in this half from Spirit, but 11-3 scoreline, they get through the CT side. Their individuals are looking strong from a macro perspective. From a colleague perspective, honestly, from Sprout, I see so much more wrong with theirs. I think the 2 fast pocket strats get shut down. The second one worse than the first. A couple of their A plays, I feel like they're not responding to what they've already seen in the match. And so I'm not surprised they're losing here, but on too many fronts. Individually, as a team, and I think that's representative. It's 11-3.
I think a critical element of that is the win conditions for Spirit showing up out of the gate. We get Patsy, we get Wonderful, rifle and op dominance, forward A plays, and occasional Patsy repositions just to keep things fresh. Sprout, a very stark comparison. Contrast to the last time these teams dueled on Overpass. Again, Sprout's pick. One of 3 maps they expected and wanted in this series, according to Barry in the pregame interview.
Oh, good read from Spirit. They're playing here to defend against, a monster hit or B, but full value for the rotators. They can pick all the best spots. Coming up on short might be nice.
Always behind
a
him.
little late, but
It works.
Oh.
Nicely. Siphon gets ahead of the util. An open door left ajar by Team Spirit, and Sprout just kick it off its hinges. So it's a retake for the final of the 15. We got this easy lock-in from short. Patsy should be doomed as he walks out this door. However, Refresh starts to make a bit of sound. Loses his teammate in the meanwhile. Now has to go ahead and pull that trigger. So a nice one from Sprout, getting the better of the timing on this B site, jumping into Team Spirit, and pushing them back at least a little. Again, 4 rounds on this T side, but we have seen dominant CT halves on the likes of Overpass, and at this point, that's exactly what Sprout are gonna have to show us when we come back from this break.
To my face, tell me now why you want to wait. Running out of words you wanna say. I've been looking for you, looking for you, looking for you.
no doubt in my mind that Sprout were hoping to jump into the server tonight and get a piece of the spirit that the previous teams had been able to chew through. But this is a different spirit. This is spirit with win conditions. Patsy, magixx, Wonderful, top of the boards. Chopper, Siren, bringing up that skill floor. And therefore, here we are, 11 rounds after that CT side. Sure enough, Sprout, you can sprinkle in a victory here and there, but it is not the domination that we had last time these two teams met on this very same map. That's what they wanted to start this series. Now they'll be, of course, giving this a run for their money on the second half, but it's going to have to be real clean. Zarx and JRaz pushing the 1s and 2s, and we lock it in here. Katowice group stage on the line. Limited spots left over.
Oh, man. When you're this close versus a team, these two teams, very beatable versus each other. If it was your day, if it was a different day, in fact, I think this scoreline could be the reverse with the way Spirit were playing earlier. But here's a good start from Sprout.
Oh, nice tap.
Great shot, actually.
The fact that he was just trying to run away as well. It's like if that comes out of either the other two players who were stationary and waiting, that's one thing. But
you know what? They don't win trades there, and the CTs are grouped up. Now, they have this mid-rotation. They can go down the stairs. But if there's a chance for Spirit to take this, I think they found the right choke point.
they'll find B essentially open. Just Siphon back on Graffiti. It's not like he can stop the plant, and the connector players aren't close enough to sprint this down either. So move bomb in, and you've got yourself a plant, and therefore a chance. Siren will get the trade frag. There with vision from up above, but Siren, P250 in the pistol.
Double swing, right?
We know what this can do, and sure enough, there's Siren's fourth. All these kills are his so far, and we are talking about the fourth or fifth piece of Team Spirit's puzzle. Stair tries to get back into short, fighting both. Shots connecting, little bits of health left over on the two Ts, one of which doubles this back around monster. He presses out, and it's gonna be Siren with the ace.
Hey, ring the alarms. Let's go, Siren. What a round from him. And he is the guy that we talk about the least, when it comes to this roster. Chopper, because he's the IGL, has more of a conversation around him. But Siren is a guy we've seen good rounds from, but of course, he's got so many stars in this team with insane aim that you don't often get to put him in the spotlight. But here is his time. They do a good job in that post plan of organizing for the double swing. It's easy for me to talk about it as it's happening, but when you're in the game, organizing that type of situation with the communication and pressure at the same time, wildly impressive.
It's definitely not the start to this half that Sprout needed nor wanted.
So 3v4 victory as well.
Quick glimpse over the wall. Refresh 5-7 on the pocket. This gun goes hard, but he loses a teammate and his own life right thereafter. Siren gonna take that pistol round success and transition it right into his and magixx follow-up. It's 4 easy frags out of the rifles, a 13th to the board for Spirit.
This has been the definition of quick work. Spirit came in angry, teeth showing, saying, "We know that you beat us last time." And in that game, Patsy and Wonderful were there. It was just the other teammates who were a little bit more quiet, and Refresh and Stair in particular had outstanding maps. A 1.71 for Refresh and a 1.65 for Stair. But this is a bigger stage with more on the line.
Also a really good T-start by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Contrast to this one. Zello not even given it a chance to hang on to the scout. So,
but actually, if there's one thing here, is a really good T-start, but also didn't lose a round in the second half. So, Sprout can tell themselves, we haven't even, outside of with whatever, a pistol and a couple conversions, we believe in our CT side. We saw that massive comeback versus EG. The level of competition is higher, but that was EG on 13 rounds. They were touching it. Problem is for Sprout, still no money.
So that means this 14th should slip onto the board real easy. And then we'll talk about a Sprout massive comeback with the guns. USP press into short, but met by the Dalil, and Zyphon just looking to throw his grenade the other direction, so even though it wasn't likely from the get-go, no trade potential on that. The Deagle push, though, what can this get accomplished? Nothing.
Nothing.
Lau goes down. Just like everybody else this round, Mac-10 shreds the CTs over towards Graffiti, and as expected, with the same buy from the round prior, it is Spirit 14-4.
And literally not even sweating. So, as much as Sprout feel like they got every map that they wanted in this veto, Overpass is their map pick. But it doesn't look like it.
Oh, and as if you needed anything to go worse, your first and maybe only real buy has a player dead the moment he jumps out heaven. Team Spirit, throw up the boost and throw out Zyphon.
Yeah, they assemble quickly.
Refresh, chance to shine. Trade frag immediate out of Siren. And the fact that Siren has now surpassed all of the other players on this team.
Wow.
Sure, 5 kills in the pistol round ace, but that's literally how this T-side has just gone from start to finish the Wave Spirit.
Whoa. Lau in a very interesting spot. It's got them coddled into this position and wants to aggress, but are they watching it? They
Yes,
are.
they
Wow,
are.
just intently.
The op watching T-spawn
Jesus.
just in case.
And it's the perfect read.
And while Bomb is still sitting outside Monster, guess what? It goes from bad to worse for Sprout. You've got Patsy breathing down your neck
Make it a
inside of
knife?
heaven.
Why don't we make it a knife, Patsy? Oh,
Because
wow.
he's all business.
Yeah,
This guy
he-
traveled to Katowice wearing a suit.
True.
And that's when it all felt like things were going to go badly for all of his opposition. Sure, they may have lost a map here and there, but now we're talking Spirit 15-4. Quick day in the office.
And when we talk about recent history with these two teams, at the Rio Major, Spirit destroyed them on Vertigo. They may be looking forward to playing it, but 16-8 for Spirit at the Rio Major. And again, it's one of those stages where it's not ESL Challenger. You know, this is a step up in pressure, and we know more about how good a team like Spirit will play in those circumstances than Sprout.
Refresh with the Hail Mary, rushes out into the playground. Deep Molly could keep them on their toes. And Wonderful, well, watch this.
Okay.
He's decided enough's enough. MP9 from inside connector, going to try to recover what they can. Zello going to challenge around this. But Wonderful, one shot sends him back, and now it's just reeling, peeling back through bathrooms. At least Zello's still trying to keep it mobile. Goes into the long peak. Comes back into the front baths. But you need to somehow claw back a 3 versus 4 versus map point.
Now, it looks like A is actually going to be the better site in a few seconds. We do have the FAMAS here, but 2 MP9s behind it. I mean, you're going to need the perfect flashes. Zyphon's got to have the round of his life. But at the same time, Spirit have time to go back to the other side of the map. And right now, Siren is telling them, maybe you should come here.
Looking
Oh,
like,
boy.
yeah, they're going to heed that warning. Gotta respect Sprout going for something all in. High risk, high reward, but in reality, this one's just gonna fizzle out. Spirit, deep smoke grenades on both sites, just kept Sprout down there a little bit longer. Allows for Spirit, of course, to now be ready for it all. Zello tries to slide out bank, gets seen. Siren, few bullets left in the magazine. MP9 desperate to get something going, but his teammates aren't even nearby. He was hoping to catch him off, maybe in that reload. Not the case. Good wallbang attempt from Zyphon. Sprout have been dismantled. They've been unrooted. And Stair's gonna take the top spot over the wall. That just reconfirms everybody face forward. You see that dumpster? Sprout have just been stuffed inside it. 16-4 on Overpass. This is a different team Spirit. This is the type of spirit that made those major runs, that gave us something to be proud of in Cologne throughout Pro League and all of 2022. And so it is nice to have them show up in Katowice when everybody felt that maybe they'd fallen absent.